PSU Sports College Football presents a Big Ten matchup. The Penn State Nittany Lions and the Iowa Hawkeyes. The Big Ten Conference standings certainly have a different look this year from a year ago. The Hawkeyes 2-0, the Nittany Lions 1-2 with losses to Wisconsin and Ohio State. So the Iowa Hawkeyes, Bob Greasy, come into this ball game. Lynn Swann is down on the field. The Hawkeyes are 5-0. Today we find out just how good they are.
Well, they have played a weaker schedule, Keith, but keep in mind they have the second longest winning streak in the nation behind Nebraska. Today, they step up in class. They're going to have to do it with a balanced attack. They've been doing it with the running game. They're going to have to throw some today.
You figure the big running back, the freshman Curtis Enos, has a big day for Penn State.
Well, he's got that great offensive line, and he gets one of his offensive linemen back today. So, big offensive line, they should run well against Iowa's defense.
And there's always the bag of tricks that goes with a ball game involving Hayden Fry.
Well, he's always got the unexpected, and defensive coordinator says he drives him nuts. It's not because he has to do it, it's because he chooses to do it. He's a lot of fun.
And Joe Paterno knows it. So as we get ready for this kickoff out in Iowa City, the weather is brightening, getting better, and now we join John Saunders in the studio. This is only the 5th time in Division 1A history where the opposing coaches have both coached 200 or more wins. And this is the 2nd time it's occurred between Joe Paterno and Hayden Fry, and neither has said anything about not going to the turn of the century. Now let's join Lynn Swann on the field as the sun comes out.
Thank you very much, Keith. Yes, it's been about mid-40s all day, and the sun's going to make it a little bit warmer, but not warm enough for me to come out of my jacket. This is a midterm, if you will, for this Iowa football team. And one of the big tests they're going to have today is whether or not they can throw the football. Now, coming into this game, they haven't had to throw it more than 20 times in the ball game. Not because they don't want to, because they just haven't had to or been forced to. The Penn State defensive coordinator Sandusky told me he wants to put them in a position where they have to put the ball in the air, which means getting up on top, taking away that running game. Now, on the Iowa side, the offensive coaches came over to me and were telling me we have far more skilled players on this football team than we've had in the last couple of years. We can throw the football. We can run down the field. It's a midterm. Let's see how they come up to the test, Keith.
All right, the game is sold out at Kinnick Stadium in Iowa City, 70,397. These two teams also filled it back in 1993 when Penn State joined the Big Ten Conference. Brett Conway will kick off for the Nittany Lions in the white suits. Tim Dwight and Damon Gibson are deep for the black-shirted Hawkeyes. They play on real grass at Kinnick Stadium. Iowa won the toss and took the ball. They will work into the wind. It is not particularly strong at this point. It is pretty much a bowl here, and you get a lot of swirling around. So it's a hard wind to read. And the ball blows off the tee just as the kicker Conway reached it. And so instead of having a Charlie Brown flip, he withdrew his leg just in time. Second time the ball is blown off, and now they will hold it. When you have a man committed to the hold, you sort of take him out of the first wave of would-be tacklers. That's the disadvantage. The kick is away, and it's a good high hanger, and it's taken at the 5-yard line by Damon Gibson. He has a little help to the outside. He crosses the 30, fumbles the football at the 33-yard line, and Penn State has recovered it. I don't think Penn State needs a whole lot of help, but the Hawkeyes just gave them a big piece of it right there.
Turnovers, Keith, are such a big factor in any ball game, but to do it on the opening kickoff when everybody's fired up and motivated coming out of the tunnel is just a big downer for the fumbling team and a big lift for the team that recovers it.
Anthony Cleary is the man who recovered it for the Nittany Lions, and here comes the Lion offense onto the field at the 33-yard line of Iowa with Archie and Whitman lined up in the backfield. Whitman, of course, the big fullback. They pitch it back to the tailback, Mike Archie, looking for daylight, finds it, goes inside the 20 to the 18, picked up 15 yards and a first down. The quarterback for the Nittany Lions is a junior in eligibility, 6'4", 215-pound Wally Richardson. You see his numbers, most impressive, 12 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions. His only losses were to Wisconsin and Ohio State. Just inside the 18, first down, Penn State with an early threat, coming off the turnover by Iowa. Stevenson is the tight end that moved over, and that's Bobby Ingram in motion. Inside handoff. And I want to tell you, there was a collision. A penalty flag is also on the field. But while they check the penalty, let us check Chile's starting lineup with the backs and receivers. Bobby Ingram, number 10, on the field for Penn State today, has 37 receptions. He has also tied with Kenny Jackson for the school record. If he catches one today, he will have a school record career touchdown receptions. The record is 25. One more and he's the man. But he is a very, very good football player, and they're taking him off the kick return duties for the day.
And he's also in the record book quite a bit already.
Yes, he is. There's Kenny.
Yep.
Of course, Kenny Jackson put his name in the record book as a wide receiver at Penn State. Had a chance to go to the professional leagues this year. Chose to stay at Happy Valley. So the ball on the solid hit. And the penalty against Penn State for illegal procedure moves it back 5 yards to the 23-yard line, where it is first down and 15. Ryan Mill now has checked in at fullback, replacing John Whitman. Tom Quinn is the referee heading the Big Ten crew.
Penn State's doing a lot of unbalanced line, Keith. This time they're unbalanced to their left. Both tackles are on the left side, tight end on the short side down the bottom of the screen. Hand
it back to Archie, and again he has a huge hole in the defensive front. They just carved a hole for him on the right side. He went big for 15. Now they're carving him a hole on the left side, and he goes down to the 13-yard line. The guys who are doing the whole opening up there for him include Andre Johnson and Keith Conlon, the other tackle who has come back from a knee injury. Conlon is called the long tackle. He's 6'7", 304. That's not really why they call him the long tackle, but he certainly fits.
Yeah, he always goes with the tight end.
Handed off to the fullback, John Whitman, the senior at 239 pounds, and there's a solid hit by Bobby Diaco, who had 26 tackles for Iowa last week against Indiana.
Diaco, the leading tackler on this team, and the second leading tackler in the Big Ten. As you mentioned, Keith, he had 26 last week, but he also had 92 snaps at Indiana, so he had 92 opportunities to make tackles, and he's a heck of an inside linebacker.
The fullbacks appear to be the messengers for the quarterback Richardson as Milne checks back in now. And on third down, pressure coming, passes away, passes incomplete, and almost intercepted by Tom Knight. Knight had an interception last week and ran for a touchdown to lock that victory. And so Penn State with the mistake, and they're going to have to settle for a field goal as a result of it, as the Iowa defense stiffens. Brett Conway, number 20, comes in, 9 of 13 in field goals on the season so far this year. The man holding is Joe Nastasi, and Keith Conlon, who's just back from injury at tackle, he is the snapper. It'll be 30 yards. And it is no good. Whoa, what a lift that is for the 70,000 people here, and most of them are rooting for the Hawkeyes. And so Penn State gets a turnover at the 33 and can't cash it in.
The Hawkeyes gave him a gift-wrapped present on the first kickoff, and Joe Paterno's Lions didn't take it.
So here come the Hawkeyes now with Matt Sherman at quarterback, a sophomore from St. Ansgar. He has 11 touchdown passes, but more importantly, look at the bottom, 7-0 as a starter. But he has not tasted the likes of Penn State yet. He's about to.
Well, as you say, he's won all 7, and they're on a string, 9 straight without a loss and 7 straight victories. They had 1 tie in that string of 9.
So from the 20, Iowa's first play. Sherman back to throw the ball. Gets it off, and he has a man wide open. It is Rodney Filer out of the backfield, the fullback. And he crosses midfield. It's first down Iowa at the Penn State 49-yard line.
Well, we talked about Hayden Fry. A few surprises. Chalk one up the very first play of the game. Slutzker, number 84, from the right side of your screen in motion. That's just a distraction. The fullback takes off to the right side, something that they hadn't shown before out of that formation. Jerry Sandusky, the defensive coordinator, says he'll drive you nuts with all these new formations and all the new wrinkles. Talking to Jerry the other day, and he says, I wish Hayden would get a hobby.
He has. Well.
Yeah, he does.
Driving defensive coordinator's crazy. Yeah. Sherman fakes it, keeps it, throws it, has his tight end available. The big guy Slutzker rumbling down the field, goes inside the 30. It is a first down for Iowa. 2 big plays to open the game for the Hawkeyes.
It's a fake toss, and Slutzker, number 84, is going to find his way across the field between the linebackers and the strong safety holes, number 13. And when Hayden comes up with some trick plays or some gimmicks, he's not going to hold him for the second half. He says, hey, let's start with him right out of the chute.
All right, the University of Iowa offensive front's got a problem. Jerry McKinney was up there replacing Ross Burba, who has a sprained ankle. Now McKinney is hurt, and Ted Sarama is in the ball game replacing him, number 61. So they're short of people on the offensive front. And here's Sherman, the same motion, the fake, and down the middle in the end zone, incomplete. He hit him. Tim Dwight, breaking between 2 defenders, had the ball on his shoulders and couldn't reel it in. It was a good throw by Sherman. The Chile starting lineup, the backs and receivers for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Cedric Shaw has been the primary offensive story coming into the game. He's the guy, the big running back out of Texas you got to prepare for, but he has yet to see the ball.
He's been the decoy so far.
McKinney has checked back into the ball game now for the Hawkeyes. It is second down and 10 at the 29-yard line of Penn State. All these passes, mind you, have been thrown into a win, but they've all been right on target.
Yes, sir.
Number 5 is Shaw, and he still hasn't seen it. Atkins gets a hold of Sherman and takes him down at the 35-yard line. Todd Atkins, an outstanding football player, number 58, senior defensive end from Newcastle, Pennsylvania.
Atkins was coming around the left side. That's where McKinney, who just went out, got hit in the head and was momentarily dazed, came back into play, and Atkins that time got around the tackle McKinney, who was playing because of Burba's injury.
Stunning news just flashed across your screen. 35-0 Northwestern beat Wisconsin.
Gary Barnett has done an outstanding job, no question about it.
Timeout, Iowa. Sherman didn't like what he was looking at. It's third down and 16 for the Hawkeyes. No score. Well, we got you the right picture here of Kenny Jackson. Going to wearing glasses like a lot of us.
Those hats and jackets and
I was back
glasses.
there in the middle of winter, and the Eagles had called Joe to inquire about Kenny, and the question was whether or not he was going to leave and go over there, but he didn't. He chose to stay, even if I don't know that he was offered the job, but I know they inquired about him. All right, the ball is on the 35-yard line. It is third down and 16. Got to go to the 19 for the first. And the straight drop when the pressure's coming, and they try to set up a screen. They won't get it. The fullback, Rodney Filer, will not get back to the line of scrimmage, and so on 2 successive plays, the Hawkeyes back up, and they're beyond field goal range now. The offensive front, McKinney was out for a play. He's back in now. The line is anchored by Casey Wiegman, but Ross Burba, who's out of the lineup with a sprained ankle, is considered one of their best linemen. Aaron Quaker on the right side, a growing young offensive lineman. Brian Hurley is in to do the punting, standing just over midfield, hits it on the 47-yard line, gets it very high, oftentimes when you try to just spin it up there and
pooch punter,
you're relaxed, and so you hit it too well, and once again it goes into the end zone and will come back to the 20-yard line. First down at the Iowa 13-yard line.
Unbalanced line again this way.
Enos has got it again. Big hole. Pounding along. Finally rolled up at about the 6-yard line by Bobby Diaco and Chris Jackson.
See what they're doing, Keith. They're moving the tackle over, and they're running behind that big unbalanced line.
Well, that means you've got Andre Johnson, 300 pounds, and Keith Conlon, 304 pounds.
You've got two tackles next to each other, what it boils down to.
Two trees to hide behind.
There's Franny Ganter. The first 20 to 25 plays are scripted.
Second down and 3. Into the middle goes Whitman, Enos, the tailback, 39. And the freshman from Union City, Ohio, gets it inside the 5-yard line.
Keith, when I talk about scripting plays, and most college teams do it, you know, you watch tape and you watch film all week and you say, geez, these plays should be good. Well, let's run them in the first couple of drives. Now, obviously, if it's 3rd and 14, you don't take the 6th play on your chart and run it. You have certain plays for 3rd and long situations, but you get confidence in plays, you run them, you tell your team, these are the plays we're going to run, and they like it.
3rd and 1. Ball is down near the 3-yard line, and you've got 3 fullbacks in there. Sloan just checked in. He's moving around. Milne and Whitman hands the ball over. He fumbled the ball. It goes into the end zone. That dive on it. Looked like a Penn State white shirt may have followed it into the end zone.
First of all, was it a fumble?
I don't know for sure, but I thought it was.
And then who has it? It looks like they're marking it on the 1-yard line, marking it down.
Marking it down. Yeah. Knee on the ground at the 1. No, Joe walking around in the brisk Iowa breeze.
Sure, he's thinking about those 5 turnovers he had last week.
It'll be 1st and goal, and it's actually less than 1. Fullbacks stay on the field, give it back to 38, and there is a touchdown. John Whitman. You get those 3 fullbacks back there, that's 3/4 of a ton.
Well, especially behind that big offensive line. You got Milne, who's weighing the fullback, number 22, who weighs 250, leading him into the end zone. Whitman weighs 239, so I mean that's a lot of hump. So get out of the way.
Conway slaps the extra point right down the middle, and it's 7-0 Penn State in the first quarter at 5.5 minutes to go.
It's a big game for Kansas State.
Lord, if Kansas State wins today, KU keeps winning, I don't know what may happen.
Wait a minute now, boss. Just don't get flying off the handle here. It's just one score.
All right, here are the Hawkeyes. They line up with Cedric Shaw at tailback. Rodney Filer is the fullback. The quarterback is Matt Sherman. Tight end stand up. Matt Sherman back to the ball, throws to the sidelines to the tight end, Slutzker. He shakes a tackler. He keeps rumbling up the field. He's got a first down for Iowa across the 45-yard line to the 47.
Now, there's no coach in college football that uses the tight ends better than Hayden Fry. Play action to Cedric Shaw, who is the main man, the 5th leading rusher in the country. Slutzker with a down and out. Holes can't keep his feet. And the passing on first down, Hayden Fry, a ex-quarterback, Keith, as you are very well aware of, doing a very nice job on the first couple of drives here.
47-yard line and a first down for Iowa. That's Derek Price, another tight end in motion. This time Shaw gets the ball. And the youngster from Austin, Texas, out of LBJ High School, He's kept out of the end zone only by Kim Herring because he was on his way. First down, move the change. Terry Killens, number 92, leads that defensive bunch. Brandon Noble is a fellow who's come along very well, and so has the youngster Brad Scioli, with Atkins, the seasoned veteran.
They're pretty good defense against the run. They're third in the Big Ten against the run, allowing only 115. Noble had a very nice game a couple of weeks ago against Ohio State.
46-yard line where it's a first down for the Hawkeyes. Double tight end over there now. When he goes in motion that way, that gives some extra blocking for Shaw. He spins. He's still up and finally thrown out of bounds. He had a double groin pull problem, but he looks pretty limber on that particular run as he gained about 4 yards. The linebackers at Penn State, and of course it's known as linebacker U, and Jerry Filardi is the man in the middle who always seems to have a bunch of tackles. He came in with 62 stops and 29 solos coming into this ball game. Here's an exciting fellow just checking into the lineup now for Iowa. His number is 6. His name is Tim Dwight. He grew up here in Iowa City. Wanted to go to South Carolina. Then he went to Stanford, had a look, came back and said, I'm staying home, and he can do everything.
He is excited.
Sherman gives the ball to Shaw, and Shaw is caught by number 44, Jim Nelson, the linebacker. If Nelson misses him, he's still running.
Very true.
Last play, Todd Atkins left the lineup. Chris Snyder replaced him. Brian Miller is the leader of that defensive secondary, and it's a good one.
Very good one. Both the other corner, Mark Tate, and the free safety, Kim Herring, outstanding players.
Call this guy back there, though, at 6 feet, and that gives these 6'5" tight ends a considerable edge. Here goes Dwight in motion on 3rd down and 4. Straight back goes Matt Sherman. Has a lot of time. The pass is away. Dwight's got it. First down. 20-yard line. He's so excited he spit out his mouthpiece.
Well, he's not big. He went in motion. Now he's going to go upfield and go all the way across field. He's only 5'9" and weighs 190 pounds. He was a running back when he first got here. Played some running back last year and some defense. This year in the spring, they said, we need to get you in the lineup. And with Cedric Shaw, the running back, we need him a wide receiver, and he's done an outstanding job.
He'd fight a rhinoceros in the phone booth.
I guess he would.
Todd Atkins is back on the field now, and they fake the pitch. Sherman throwing the ball to the end zone. Man is open. Touchdown! Demo Odums.
Just some great play calling. The pitch, the fake is going to be out here. Now what they're doing, they're trying to hold this safety because the receiver's going to go straight down the field. The fake holds the safety to the top left of the screen, and the ball is going over his head. Just some nice planning, some scouting, and play calling by Hayden Fry and his staff. I mean, they've come out wide open in their first 2 possessions.
Now Zach Romert, a freshman from Pensacola, Florida. He's in to try to tie it up. Yes, Hayden shaved off his mustache, in case some of you hadn't seen him since last year.
I mean, you know, we talked about in the opening about some unexpected things from Hayden. I mean, he's come out with a bunch of plays, and he's hardly gone to his tailback, which is the strength. He's gone to the passing game.
Robert's kick is good. 3:26 to go in the first quarter, and we're tied.
What's up, A-Town? What's up, Danny? What's up, DeVon?
Matt Sherman is 6 out of 7 for 110 yards and a touchdown.
Let's look from behind the defense. There's the fake. The defense saw that. Play action. Sherman says, I haven't been used me much this year. I can get it done, and a nice catch by Odums.
That's a heck of a
Sherman.
catch.
Sherman threw it the only place he could throw it.
Odom's made a real good play because he was in a terribly awkward position trying to one-hand it.
Well, you had to get by the man that was up into space, and then you had to get downfield. The depth, the ball was thrown where it should be. It was a difficult catch, but a guy at this level of competition, you know, he should make that, and he did.
So we're tied at 7 as Todd Romano.
A little bit quicker, he just kept going to the sideline, threw a little late.
That should get Conway into the ball game. Does with Nastasi out, and Keith Conlon will move over to the ball to snap it now.
He had 4 big field goals last week against Purdue.
42-yard try. Trying to untime the ball game, and he's got it up there with the wind in his back. He's got plenty of leg on it, and it's good. And so Penn State goes back into the lead at 10-7 with 58 seconds to play in the first quarter.
The thing I like about the series, it's on grass at both parks.
Yep. And 2 teams that are really hungry.
Oh, the best are where they're supposed to be there.
Yep. Second down and 6. That's thrown out of bounds. Richardson was looking for Olsemer. He wasn't available. Covering on the play, believe it or not, was a man who was listed as a defensive end, Bill Innisinge.
Both wide receivers were slanting, and he wanted to go to either Scott or Ingram, and came off to his tight end at the outlet, and he was covered and just threw it away.
Wally Richardson is now 4 of 11. He's missed his last 5. Freddie Scott, number 31, is going to be down at the bottom of your picture, and Bobby Ingram's up at the top, and he hands the ball off to Pitts. And Pitts got enough daylight to get a first down, and he is still rolling along. My goodness, that's good balance. He picked up about 12 yards after he was hit.
That's number 54, the center of your screen. You got to have confidence in that offensive line when it's 3rd and 5. And you run a little draw play. Rivera just eating him up.
Look at the balance here. He's hit. Now he's going to lose his balance. There's 5. There's 10. 10 yards.
Yeah, and that's a third-string running back, too. Here's a look at rushing. Almost 100 yards more for Penn State.
First down at the 15-yard line. Richardson has a man. Olsemer down the middle. Goes to the corner instead for the fullback, Whitman. That doesn't get him. You put Olsemer 6'4", 245 out there, and there's nobody physically in that secondary for Iowa that can really take him on.
Now, wait a minute, Hoss.
Biggest guy would be Damian.
I know you like the tight ends, and I know Hayden's throwing to Slutzker a lot, but now you want him to throw a lot of balls to Olsemer, too. I mean, you know, he's a good blocker, and he was down the middle of the field, but I don't know how wide open.
He's like that little bitty fella down there guarding him.
My partner loves the tight ends, as if you haven't ascertained by now.
Well, they do a lot of dirty work up there. Ball is handed to Stephen Pitts, and he's got daylight, and then suddenly he just gets hammered. But he picks up 7 yards.
Yeah, it's just because of the offensive line. There are some huge gaps up there in that front line. The line of scrimmage is being dominated by Conlon and Hardings, Tilch, the center, Rivera, and Johnson.
His tackle was made by Mick Mulheron, I'll have you know. Probably grew up in the shadows of Ben Bowman. Archie and Whitman in the backfield. It is 3rd down and a long 3. Scott and Ingram now with that motion are together up at the top of the picture. Ball is handed to Archie. He's got the first down as he crosses the 5 and is close to the 3.
Iowa coming on a little blitz from the outside here. Number 23 is the corner. That's Atkins. He's picked up by the fullback. And Archie does a smart thing. He sees the corner blitzing. He says, that's no good out there. So he stays inside with those big offensive linemen. Have been creating holes for him all day.
Now it is 1st and goal for Penn State. You got the fullbacks in there, 3 of them slowed. Whitman's got the ball. Mills blocking, and Whitman goes down at the 1-yard line. Now Jason Slode on the field is 230 pounds, a sophomore. Brian Milne is 250, a senior, and John Whitman is 239 and a senior.
Those are all fullbacks, Keith. There are the 3 backs that are in the backfield on the goal line offense, and a lot of teams have called that their elephant backfield since they've got the heavy-duty backs in there.
Now they're powered this way. Figures they'll come to this side, and they do. Whitman just goes up and over the stack, sticks it in the end zone, and Penn State has scored. And the crowd of 70,000 plus gets very quiet again.
Well, Whitman knows who to thank, and that's those front 5 guys up there that just led the way on that drive. Another long drive. 81 yards, 12 plays for Penn State.
The Nittany Lions have won 9 straight games on the road. Both of their losses this year came on their home turf. Conway for the point. Good. 8 minutes and 46 seconds to play in the first half. It is now Penn State leading by 10 at 17-7. Big John over the top. Let us introduce you to Dr. Mary Sue Coleman, incoming University of Iowa president. She's a native daughter from Cedar Falls, and she's coming home big time, coming from the University of New Mexico in Albuquerque.
Let's look at Herring, Keith, getting blocked from the wide receiver. Looked like he got hit just above his knee, and he wasn't on the ground, and there's his replacement. It's Lee. Yeah.
Kim walked off.
Yeah, he was off the ground. That was the key. His leg was in the air, so it doesn't look like it's going to be anything real serious.
First down, 29-yard line. Sherman back, throws to the sidelines. Dwight is there. Touchdown, Hawkeyes. Boy, he just totally got lost. He hit out there on the sideline somehow, and he was all alone.
Well, you got to give credit to Hayden Fry. We've mentioned early on, expect the unexpected. A lot of different looks, a lot of different play actions coming into this game. Cedric Shaw, the man they're going to fake to here, was averaging 143 yards a game, the 5th leading rusher. Look at the linebackers jump up on him. The two outside wide receivers are over there. They're getting open, and Sherman is finding him.
Kick is good by Bromer. And so Iowa does answer. And at 4:34 to play in the first half, it's a 3-point ball game. Penn State leading. We move to the second half now. As the shadows move out onto the field, we'll have to turn on some lights, as the lights will become very useful, because they don't have lights here at the stadium, at Kinnick Stadium. You bring them in if you're going to play a night game. Wind has been just enough today to knock that ball off the tee 2 or 3 times. And they're getting a delay of game call here, so apparently they didn't kick the ball off in the prescribed amount of time. The wind continues to be very active around the rim of the stadium, but down inside it's sort of swirling around. So Iowa is hit with a 5-yard delay of game penalty. That's sort of an unusual call. You don't normally see that. And Stephen Pitts and Chris Eberle wait for it for the Lions, and the ball is fielded by Pitts up at the 11-yard line, and he will get it back out to around the 27-yard line. The halftime stats.
Take a look at the total yardage for Penn State, 232, 230 for Iowa, almost the same, but Iowa gets theirs through the air, passing yards 207, whereas Penn State gets theirs on the ground, 161. The one turnover, Iowa had the turnover and the time of possession a little in favor. For Penn State, we said they had to eliminate turnovers. They've done that. Defensively, expect the unexpected. Well, they've given up. There's 8 plays that have been over 18 yards, so there's been a lot of unexpected plays.
Diaco with a hit on Archie to start the second half. Bobby Diaco was relatively quiet this week compared to last week because he's dealing with different folks along the trenches, but he sure got through that time and put a solid lick on him. Loss of a couple of yards, well, maybe 3 yards, make it second down and 12.
Richardson, not a good first half, only 4-15, 71 yards. The running backs did well. Ingram led the receivers.
Ball is back very near the 25-yard line. Richardson throws quickly, and the catch is made, and going down is Bobby Ingram. Ball was thrown very hard. Pretty good coverage. In order to make it secure and safe, he went to his knees.
For Iowa defensively, the free safety Robinson leads him with 10 tackles. Diaco, the middle linebacker. Inge has the 1 sack.
Ball is out near the 36. It is third down and 3. Richardson dumps it off to his fullback Milne. Good move by Milne. Big play by Bryant as he crosses the 45-yard line. And the 1993 NCAA discus champion gives Penn State a first down.
You know, one of the impressive things about this Penn State offense, first of all, they had 3 #1 draft choices drafted off the offense from last year's team. Now they've got all these great offensive linemen, and they've got 2 fullbacks, Whitman and this young man, Brian Milne. 250 pounds, can catch well, blocks well, and can run. They've got some talent.
Richardson back. Again, very good protection. Goes deep down the sidelines. The ball is thrown out of bounds, intended for Freddie Scott. Scott was well defended on the play. Well, Milne also showed us his courage when he overcame the infection.
The Hodgkin's disease.
Hodgkin's disease.
Penn State in the first half, they had the ball 6 times and scored. They did well the first 4 times they had. They could miss the field goal. The last 2 times, the Iowa defense toughened and forced them to punt. Had good field position twice in Iowa territory.
Ingram and Scott now are at the bottom of your picture. Give it to Archie. Slowed down behind the line of scrimmage and then taken down just about the line of scrimmage. Jared DeVries, a freshman out of Applington, Iowa, had the first contact on him, slowed him down, and then the Hawkeyes put him away.
Keith, Tom Knight's not in the ball game defensively for the Hawkeyes because he's re-injured the left knee injury he had earlier. He had an operation on it. He aggravated. He's going to be okay, but they're just not going to play him for the second half.
Third down and 9. Richardson is finally taken down by number 94, Jared DeVries. And so the Penn State offensive front, once they got that big play from Milne, got it over on the Iowa side, caved in to the Iowa defense.
As DeVries, he gets his 6th sack of the year. Iowa has not been that good at sacking quarterbacks. In fact, they came in 9th in the conference in sacks with only 16.
Kenya is back to punt for Penn State, and now you've got 2 people back for the Hawkeyes.
Looks like DeVries has hurt himself on that sack.
At least winded.
The Hawkeyes had a bunch of guys banged up in last week's loss.
Well, he made a big play, and he's very wobbly coming off the field. The ball is about to go over to the offense now, and you don't see any trouble with ankle or knee, so that in itself is pretty good news.
Yes.
With Kenya back to punt now, Iowa has put 2 defenders back there to accept the ball. They being Tim Dwight and Willie Guy. Now here we get into that territory. The ball comes down at about the 10 or 12-yard line. If you catch it, you probably save yourself a lot of grief because you got a chance to move it out around the 20. And the old rule of thumb is if the ball can be caught, catch it. You save yourself a lot of yards before the day is over, and this one can be caught. It's right between them. He went right between them. It was Alphonse and Gaston. It's kicked into the end zone, and it's going to be a safety for Penn State. My goodness. You had the two of them back there with the idea to catch the ball.
Wait a minute. This was an inadvertent touching by, it's just a touchback.
Is that all?
It's an inadvertent touch.
Put the ball in the end zone, it's a touchback.
Well, didn't Iowa kick it in there?
I think they might have, but let's take a look.
Well, we start off talking about the idea of catching the ball. Now, there's the fair catch call by Willie Guy. Then he steps away from it after signaling fair catch. And then number 21 backed into it, Eric Thigpen, and kicked it into the end zone.
So even if it's of an Iowa player, it's still an inadvertent kick.
So Zach Bromert comes onto the field and will go for a field goal. Ball will be put down at the 12. Will be 22 yards. And it's right down the middle. So the Hawkeyes have tied the score at 8:29 to play in the third quarter at 17. 7 Central.
Drew Blitzer.
ABC.
Drew Blitzer.
Jim Kelly is one tough dude. 27-yard line. The ball is handed away to John Whitman. And the Hawkeye defense now is all pumped up and swarming.
Keith, as you know, Zach Bromert, the field goal kicker, take a look at him. He's a true freshman. He's a walk-on. He was not on the team for the first, when the training camp opened, and didn't dress until the third game of the season. 38 was the only number he could have, the only number available. He's been perfect on every extra point and on every field goal, and they call him, the teammates call him Rudy. Great stuff.
He hadn't shaved yet.
He hadn't hit the ground yet.
Richardson setting up a wide receiver screen down the middle of the field for Bobby Ingram. This is trouble. They finally track him down and get him at the Iowa 25-yard line. Chris Jackson ran him down. So Bobby Ingram coming into the middle of the field.
Franny Gantner, his quarterback, is having some trouble. Only completed 4 passes. So he has him come back to throw a safe, simple pass to the wide receiver. Now you've got your best player in broken field. This kid's going to be a first-round draft choice, one of the top wide receivers in the country, and you've got him with 2 or 3 people between him and the goal line.
So it's first down on the big play for the Nittany Lions. Threatening again, a 17-17 ball game in the third quarter, and Wally Richardson back to throw it, going to the end zone with it. It's incomplete, intended for Joe Juravicius.
Look at the wrong guy.
Yep. Freddie Scott was all by himself.
Well, he had single coverage down the middle. There's a look at Scott. He had single coverage with nobody in the center of the field.
The last time these two teams played, they drew 70,397. That's capacity. That's what they have again today.
That's what Joe's talking about. They saw Scott open.
Yep.
I think that's the difference this year. Of course, Wally Richardson getting an opportunity to play for the first time versus Kerry Collins last year, a fifth-year senior who has played a lot of ball. He would have made that throw, would have found the right guy. But with Richardson playing for the first time, experience is a great teacher, Keith. There's no substitution for experience, and Wally's getting that this year.
Stephen Pitts is the deep man. He's got quickness, second down and 10. They show blitz, they don't come, and Pitts gets the ball right up the pipe. To the goal line. Didn't get in. He's about yards shy of the goal line. It'll be 1st and goal, Nittany Lions.
Take a look here. Watch the offensive lineman. There'll be a huge hole right up the middle. That's Conlon, 53. Tilch is the center, 75. And last week, the 3rd string running back for Indiana ran for nearly 200 yards, 199 versus the Iowa defense.
Elephant backfield is on the field. And it's Whitman, touchdown. So Penn State goes back to the lead as Whitman goes over the top for his 3rd touchdown of the day.
Yep.
But it's Pitts who put it down there with a whole lot of help from the Big Uglies.
I'm sure that Joe just said at halftime, listen, we can run on this team. And now he's talking to Wally about throwing it to the wrong guy, throwing it to the right guy. But we can run the football all day on this guy, he's telling him. And, you know, we had what we wanted. Why didn't you throw it to him? That's the experience.
Penalty flag on the kick. Let's see about that. It's obviously against Iowa. They're talking to Penn State, so they'll take the point offsides and they'll assess the penalty on the kickoff. And the score.
Defense, offside, kick was good. We're going to put it on the kickoff. 5-yard penalty.
So your score now goes Penn State 24, Iowa 17, and Conway's made 66 straight points after.
Comes Rudy.
Romert is from Pensacola, Florida.
They only allow 105 guys to go to camp now, Keith. As you know, 85 on scholarship, 105, and he couldn't come because he won 105.
Kick is good. Great story. So they go for the 3 and get it, and it's a 24-20 ball game with 2:09 to play in the 3rd quarter.
Defensive coordinator said he's going to be a good one.
Big chance here for Iowa. Little fake, give it off to Cedric Shaw. And Shaw is down inside the 20. And will have what appears to be an Iowa 1st down. Here's John.
Keith, you've got a great one there. There's also a good one in the Pac-10, UCLA and Stanford. Cade McNown to Todd McBride. He spins 28 yards for the touchdown. UCLA back again. It's 28 apiece. Keith.
Yeah, those guys usually put on a show.
If you like offense, yeah.
Yep. It's 1st down Hawkeyes at the Penn State 19. Shaw's got it. Through a hole. Still going. Touchdown. 19 yards.
Watch the 2 guards are going to pull. 79 is Goff, 69 is Purdy, 34 is the fullback. He's going to get a piece of hose, and Shaw gets it in.
79. Made a whale of a block.
Mike Goff.
Yep. Kick is good. And Penn State is back to the lead by Iowa is back to the lead by 27-24. As a matter of fact, back to the lead. I think that may be the first.
No, they had it once.
Had it one time. Okay. So here's Conway with a kick from the 16-yard line. That is good. A 26-yard field goal ties the score one more time at 27. City.
Right here, take a look at this. You're right behind the punter. Killens is lined up right over center. How does he get this off?
Near miracle, but the defense has given field position to the offense. They're sitting on the 35-yard line. First down. Archie and Whitman in the backfield. And Whitman will take it down to about the 23-yard line. Damian Robinson has 13 tackles now for the Iowa secondary.
That's not good.
Oof.
You want the linebacker with all those tackles. You want Diaco to have all the tackles, not the next layer of defense, the free safety.
Defense, field position, in the kicking game.
It's always been Paterno's way, hasn't it?
Yep. This is Whitman again. And the big bull of a back is in there for about 6, maybe 7 yards. Florida at Georgia and Nebraska at Colorado make up the complete schedule of USC at Washington and Minnesota at Michigan next Saturday here on ABC Sports, starting at 3:30 Eastern Time. Check your local listing. Here's second down and long 4. Looks like a good find, actually. Richardson gives that ball to Whitman, and he can't move the stick. Ennis Inge is down under the bottom. Bill Ennis Inge. That's Ennis-Inge. 245-pound junior from Kirkwood, Missouri.
Defense has been pretty stingy in its 5 ball games. It's only allowed 4 of the opponents to score 1 touchdown.
Now it's third down on the long 4, and Stephen Pitts checks into the backfield. Pitts with the ball, penalty flag down, and Pitts is nailed right at the line of scrimmage.
You're playing one-handed here offensively, Penn State. They don't want to throw the ball.
Offside, Iowa.
That is, you just can't do that. You're giving them a first down. It's 3rd and 4. You had him stopped on a running play, and Joe says, "We'll take the first down." "Yes, sir, we'll take that first down. Thank you very much."
That is a will breaker right there to make that kind of a mistake. I mean, it's almost 5 yards on 4th down coming up.
Well, that's Keith. Iowa and Hayden Fry's groups are last in the Big Ten in penalties. I think they've had 85 or 86 yards per game in penalties, and that right there, it's going to kill you. You just cannot. You don't think it's going to enter into a game, but right there, this could be the main thing.
It is now first down. The ball is at the Iowa 12. Richardson's pass is caught all right, but it's going to wind up with a yard loss. Bobby Ingram caught the ball, but Ples Atkins will
nice play by Atkins. This comes from the fact that your quarterback is not having a good day. And you don't want to throw the ball downfield, so you throw a wide receiver screen and hope that your All-American can do something with it. But Atkins, who's had 4 interceptions on the year, and as you mentioned earlier, ran 2 of them back for touchdowns, is right there.
Second down 11. The ball comes back on the 13. Pitts is in. Richardson throwing deep into the corner. Touchdown, Bobby Ingram.
It's a great throw and catch there, especially from a guy who knows that he's having a little bit of an off day. Look, you got out here, you got your main man one-on-one. You're just going to throw the ball to the corner of the end zone and hope that Ingram can outrun him. But just don't outrun him, just get some separation. Atkins probably thought he had pretty good coverage. He had the back of the end line there.
And that gives him the new school record. He passes Kenny Jackson's record with career touchdowns at 38. And the extra point is good. So Penn State is out to a 34-27 lead over Iowa with 6:07 to play in the game. Of Matt Sherman since the first game. He had 100 attempts before he was picked off.
And that was an untimely one, too, because they needed to score.
So now Penn State with 5 minutes and 32 seconds to play in a ball game. Here comes Mike Archie with some fresh legs, getting outside and getting a big play. Chris Jackson shirt-tailed him and brought him down. But again, it's the power of the offensive front of Penn State that is dictating this.
Harding's number 50 just getting a great block inside there, Keith. Number 50, the All-American candidate. They've got several on this line.
I know that we're not supposed to vote for more than one player for an MVP, but just to get it on the record, if I had my brothers, I'd give it to the whole Penn State offense.
No question. No question.
They're terrific. Just short of the 43, first down for the Lions. They lead to 34-27. Penalty flags all over the place. That was Brian Milne carrying. On the offense, 5 yards, false start.
Here's a look at the top 25. Southern California lost. Kansas State is losing.
I think you can put lost on that.
Yeah, I think you can. I think you can put lost. Virginia lost to Texas. Iowa's losing at this point. Northwestern with a big win.
Stanford now losing to UCLA. Spike Dykes ball club out there, Texas Tech. That's a scrappy crowd.
Yes.
They battle you. 5 minutes and 1 second remaining to play. They've had their talk now. And here we go.
Here's a look at big Andre Johnson. He's the weak side or short side tackle. 22 straight starts. Has allowed no sacks this year and last year against Simeon Rice, who is said to be the best pass rusher. He got no sacks and no tackles against Andre Johnson. Very good football player.
On 1st and 15. It's Stephen Pitts. And he picks up 6. And we would like to welcome a new affiliate to the ABC television network in the city by the bend of the river. ABC 58 WBND in South Bend, Indiana. Happy to have them with us. Our ABC college football team beginning with today's ball game. So welcome, guys. 2nd down and 9. John Whitman, the fullback. Stephen Pitts is the tailback. The Nittany Lions have one primary interest here, grinding up the clock, getting it down so they can at least add a field goal. The Iowa defenders jump in there on 2nd down. It'll be 3rd down and 9. And they're certainly not in field goal range at this point. 3 points in this possession would be very large. Clock is running at 3 minutes and 35 seconds to play in the ball game.
If you don't pick up a first down here, you're going to have to punt the ball and give it back to him. So if you run it here, the way you've been running it all day, but I think they may get him outside the pocket.
Archie's your tailback. He's in motion. He becomes a wideout. That gives him 3. They're going to throw.
Down the middle.
They let it go big for Bobby Ingram. He's got it. Touchdown.
Just throw it to Ingram.
He got away from Billy Coates.
That's what they did the last time on the other side of the field. Just throw it to Ingram down the sideline. He's going to look to his left initially, but but you can bet that he was throwing it down Ingram down this side. Ingram does a nice job of playing off of Coates number 30. And remember that Coates is in there for the injured Tom Knight. So they're throwing it on the sub Coates, and Ingram did a nice job of bouncing off of his body, getting a little separation at the right time.
And that thump you just heard, that was the old door slamming. Point is good. With 3:09 to play in the ball game, Penn State has a 2-touchdown lead. So Enos is in the backfield now. It's time to chew up the clock. 2:03 left to play. And they give it to the big guy, fresh legs, you know, and all of that. Youthful enthusiasm, speed, muscles, talent, hunger. And he just simply, first play, runs it all the way down to the 48-yard line of Iowa.
It's got to be fun calling plays today, Franny. Everything's working, especially your ground game. Franny Ganner in his 25th year at Penn State. That's the thing about Joel's assistants. 9 assistants have been there a total of 118 years. They've had lots of opportunities to move on, and Fran included. Had a couple opportunities the last couple of years, but they kind of like it.
Chris Eberle gets a chance to play some now as a running back. Number 23 checks in at the tailback position.
Jerry Sandusky, the defensive coordinator, breaking a smile.
Joe Sasser, he's been there a long time, too.
Yeah. Anderson, Johnny Anderson.
Dick went away for a while and came back.
Yep.
You know who else moved into the front office? Bob White has given up the lobby business in Washington, and he has come back as an assistant athletic director.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at the UConn. The Bruins are taking another breath and coming alive.
Dick Anderson over on the right there. Good staff, and you know, one of the top staffs in the country. And Nebraska's got a good one. A lot of them.
There's our schedule for next week. Check your local listing for the game in your area. And if you don't have it, call your cable operator and see what he's offering. And if he doesn't have what you want, give him what for. Tell him to go get it.
Yeah.
You're willing to pay for it, and it's the best price in town for those. That USC-Washington game be a real big ball game now in the Rose Bowl hunt. The Huskies are, up to now anyway, before they play tonight, are undefeated.
Yeah, they're both Southern California, both undefeated.
Yeah, but USC lost badly today at Notre Dame. That's going to do something to do with their psyche.
But not a conference loss.
No, but it's in Seattle.
But it's a national loss. It drops them out of the national race.
It's here to win. I like it. I can tell that fella's going to have a good trip, particularly since the Nittany Lions have won the ball game. He is really spiffy, isn't he? This is a wonderful setting for college football. There's a great deal of enthusiasm for it, and the people are kind and gentle, and they enjoy it, and they applaud their team, and they'll applaud the other team as well. They like college football here. And it is, to some degree, the only game in town in the autumn. This is Eberle. And Eberle will pick up about 8 yards on that carry with the clock running now at 1 minute and 15 seconds to play in the game. And this game is over, really, basically. Colorado scored a half 100 today to win their ball game. Michigan defeating Indiana. And the big rattling sound around the Big Ten is Northwestern's 35-0 shutout of Wisconsin.
They just keep rolling along and be picking up relievers as they go, Northwestern.
Carl Gray is in right now at the backfield. 39, Curtis Enos has the ball, and he'll go down to the 30-yard line for another first down. We told you already that our producer is Bob Goodrich.